Welcome back to English Otherwise. This is Breaking Down the News. My name is Mr. Janes, and I just wanted to say good morning, mushrooms, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers, sisters, mothers, and misters. And to all my cousins, it's time to break down the news, and so let's plug in. With my first cup of coffee, as I scanned and highlighted the headlines, I felt this, I was gripped with fear, thinking that it was a slow news day. Now, remember, it's never a slow news day. When I say that, I just mean linguistically, because really that's the only thing we care about. However, with the second cup of coffee, my neurons started firing and my synapses, or my neurons started nurring and my synapses started firing, and I realized there is a wealth, a treasure trove of linguistic goodies and goodness out there for us to look at today. The high points are the good points, the low points are the bad points. Yes, and some new lows in US-China relations. Both sides hope to make political gains by what? By blaming the other for, blame somebody for, blame somebody for, blame somebody for. They're blaming each other, blame each other for, blame somebody for this or that, for the severity, the seriousness, the badness, the terribleness. If something is severe, and it's an interesting adjective because the spelling severe as an adjective, severe ending in an e. And like we had the other day, if you add an s, it becomes an abstract noun. Or other adjectives take an itty. That's a pretty itty. The severity of the circumstances, the severity of the symptoms, the severity of the crisis. I think it's just a happy little coincidence. But tensions have been building for years. Tension, coming from tense. Tense meaning tight. Now I've got some rope here of sorts. It's more like a cable that we can use for hanging laundry. And remember, if something is tight, if a person is tight, it's like all your muscles in your body is clenched together, and that's the opposite of relaxed. Tensions have been building. Things have been getting more and more tense, and more tense, and eventually, if it gets too tense, this rope will snap, and everything will come crashing down to the ground, and all my laundry that I just washed will now be dirty. Tragedy strikes. You can tell that that second cup of coffee is really kicking in, huh? Ousted vaccine chief will warn Congress, blah, 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 blah. Ooh, the darkest winter in modern history. And he's a vaccine chief. Why is he predicting the weather? Because he's not. It is basically a metaphor. It's going to be one of the most difficult times. Most toughest. Come on, you're a teacher. One of the most difficult, one of the toughest times ahead for our country. This guy was ousted, and so now they're just using ousted as an adjective, literally like out, thrown out. Now, you can fire somebody, you can throw them out, push them out, and force them to resign. And so then that's when you say sort of ousted, forced to resign from his position. Trump's rebuke, we had it the other day, to rebuke somebody, a rebuke, to do something with rebuke. But a rebuke is a strong, severe criticism of somebody that you feel has done something wrong or poorly. Reprimand. He was reprimanded by his boss for showing up or turning up to work late. Antonym for rebuke, I would say maybe praise, praise, because if you're rebuking or reprimanding, you keep turning up late for work, and that is completely unacceptable behavior, and if you do that again, there's going to be severe consequences. The opposite, I guess, would be praise, praise. Oh man, you're in early again today? Great job. I love to see your dedication and commitment to the success of the company. To encapsulate, think about medicine, but then we've got capsules, which are little gel caps, and they're made of two halves that then you put together, and the drugs are inside, so the drugs don't touch your tongue, and it makes it easy to swallow. The greater idea, when you're putting it into a small, neat little container, that is easy to swallow, just like we sometimes would say that's a hard truth to swallow. Sometimes in our lives it's difficult to swallow the truth, is to put it into a nice, neat little, easily digestible, easily swallowable and digestible container. As I always say, that very visual vocabulary. Woo! Encounter. You remember that old classic alien film from the late 70s or early 80s? Close Encounters with the Third Kind. Could be to experience, to meet, to find, yeah? And often it implies by chance. And so there's a couple good synonyms that I wanted to shed light on or to bring to light. Often this idea of meeting by chance or experiencing by chance. If you're talking about a person, the other day I was walking down the street and, oh, hey, how are you? I bumped into an old friend of mine. I ran into, not literally, there was no physical contact because we're all practicing good, safe social distancing. But I bumped into an old friend. I ran into an old friend. I play the accordion, like the polka music, and my accordion broke, and I didn't know how, or some cultures and languages call it a harmonica, but that's different in English. My accordion broke, and I didn't know what to do, and I was at a loss. I was crushed. I was devastated emotionally because that accordion is my life. But the other day I was walking down the street and I came across an accordion repair shop. And so my accordion will be fixed. And all of my neighbors will once again get to enjoy the beautiful polka ballads that I play all night long. To encounter, to meet, to find, to experience, often by chance. All right, that's great. Some people in the past have said that I make some very troubling examples. Now, my accordion wasn't too troubling, but if something is troubling, it means it causes mental problems. Yeah? It bothers somebody. Ooh, it's a reduced past simple passive in a relative clause. The parishioners who were killed, parishioners killed by COVID-19, reveals a troubling truth. And that means, what is the troubling truth? I don't know. You're going to have to read the story. However, yeah, maybe Jesus just didn't like them. See, there you go. There's one of my troubling examples suddenly emerging. But dire means very, very serious. And it usually goes dire warning, dire situation, dire consequences. Or if you're up to date with your good old classic rock, there's a band that everybody knows and loves called Dire Straits. And that's Straits. If you are in dire straits or your company is in dire straits, it means you're in big, big trouble. Catastrophe is around every corner. And because, think about it, a strait, a narrow passageway of water, like we have the Strait of Hormuz in the Persian Gulf, the Strait of Magellan on the southern coast of Chile, the Malacca Straits in Indonesia. And it's a very narrow sort of waterway. And because it's narrow, it's easy to crash into land on either side. And boats don't like crashing. And a crash with a boat is catastrophic. And so if you are in dire straits, it's in a very, very, very dangerous, potentially lethal, fatal situation. And it's funny because the Bosporus is not straight, it's quite wiggly, and so it's a very wiggly strait, to make a silly play on words, but as a teacher I love that kind of stuff. To make it more that, to intensify, yeah, and rapidly, very quickly, fast. No fastly, please. Fast works as an adjective and an adverb. Ta-da! Useful tidbit of information. Here, for once, they're using the word quite literally. They were spiraling. They were going in a circle. Yeah, spiraling. However, this word, we often use it very, very figuratively. And so you can be spiraling, the downward spiral. Yeah, like water going down the drain or down the toilet. And so if somebody is in a downward spiral, or like the economy is in a downward spiral, it's a very bad situation. Or if you're going the opposite direction, you start in the middle and start going bigger and bigger and bigger. If you're spinning something around, it could easily, if you lose your grip, it could fly away. And so something could be spiraling out of control. Yes. To be willing to do something. Students, I just highlighted here, and it means that you are okay to do it. Maybe you don't want to do it, but you will do it if somebody wants you to. I don't really want to wash the dishes, but I'm willing to do it if I have to. I don't want to wash the windows. The light still comes through. It's fine. But, if it's important to you, I will wash them. I am willing to wash the windows, but willing to be intentionally exposed. Give me the virus. And intentionally, adverb, intend as a verb. If you intend to do something, it means you mean to do it. You want to do it. You're doing it on purpose. It's not by accident. They want it, I guess, because they like being guinea pigs, lab rats, because they maybe want to just roll the dice and hope for the best. And you're trying really hard, but often meeting minimal success. Celebrities are embracing their gray hair, ditching their makeup, and dyeing their own hair too. To embrace something, quite literally, to embrace, hug, yeah? But then figuratively, if you're embracing something, it means that you're accepting it. Yeah, you can embrace the idea embrace the concept. And so they're embracing the fact that they have gray hair, that they are actually aging, that they are not immortal, they are not the Highlander. And so they're coming to terms with, they're accepting their gray hair. They're ditching their makeup. But to ditch something means to discard, yesterday, to throw away something because you no longer need it. Don't litter. Don't throw your garbage by the side of the road. Homophone, dying and dying, but it's not a homonym or homograph spelled differently. Here, with this dying, there is an E, not like dying. To make up with somebody. To repair the relationship. I'm really sorry. Oh, me too. You have a fight, an argument, and then you kiss and make up with each other. If one party really did something bad, then they might say, let me make it up to you. Make it up to somebody to compensate for it, whatever the thing was that you did wrong. And so there's some overlap, but slightly different phrasal verbs. Sorry if I confuse you any further. All right. Yes, fallout. For those of you watching Chernobyl or... Yes, nuclear meltdown, and then the radiation spread everywhere, and then the radiation rains down on the people, and that is bad. And so the fallout from, we're not talking about nuclear fallout here, it's fallout from the coronavirus, just in this case means the negative effects of a situation. And here we've got the financial fallout from the coronavirus. Yeah, we got countries entering into recession, trying to prevent depression, economic and otherwise, will be hit. Ooh, future passive, will be hit the hardest. Ooh, superlative, by the financial fallout. Boom! More vocabulary from the coronavirus. Awesome. Because we're all closed and because we're hiding our secrets and things. We all have skeletons inside of us and in our closet. Skeletons in your closet are your secrets. But if you open up to somebody about something, yes, you are revealing the secrets that you have inside. And that's why people go to therapy, because they don't want to open up to their friends and family because they're too close and they might judge them and it could affect their relationship. However, a therapist is just an educated third party, and so it's easier to open up to that person. Extravagant, super duper fancy. Yeah, ta-da. To be or not be, no Hamlet, above the law. If you're above the law, you are immune to the law, immune to prosecution. The law can't touch you. The law can't affect you. Stay in place, not move. But really, in life, is anything permanent? They say that change is the only thing that truly is permanent. That's deep. Yeah, but what are we lightening? Yes, our moods, the way that we feel. Remember, dark is negative. Ooh, that's dark. Why are you in such a dark mood? And so we want to lighten our moods. The other day we had to lift our moods. Oh, lift our moods, to boost our moods, to push them up. Here is just to lighten, to make it brighter, happier. To thrill, a thrill, a feeling of great excitement. If something is a thriller, it causes great excitement, usually used for films and Michael Jackson. TBD, to be decided. TBA, to be announced. Woo! And so, that has been it. Those were the headlines for Breaking Down the News. Thanks for tuning back into English Otherwise. As always, you can see the recap 6 p.m. on YouTube. I'm also pulling out little pieces and snippets and publishing them a week from now in case you wish to review any of the nice, wonderful language, especially with new channels just starting out. It really helps. Follow, like, subscribe, bells, whistles, and all of that. That's it for Thursday, the 14th of May. Have a beautiful day. If I don't see you later today, then I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8. Bye-bye.